Fighting games are probably the only genre where you can feel like you're doing everything right and still get absolutely deleted in under 3 seconds. And the worst part, the game doesn't even acknowledge your existence. You're not a player. Your environmental storytelling. It just keeps going. Combo, wall splat, Oki.
Emotional damage!
Eventually you start questioning if you're actually learning or just paying premium price to experience humiliation in HD. The funny part is, none of this is actually random. And honestly, that's kind of brutal. The good news is the subscribe button is the only thing with no skill requirement. It's just a free win. Mostly for me though. But let's be real for a second. Your first experience in a fighting game is not fun. In fact, it never is. It's actually closer to an overpriced, well-funded bullying program. It's being matched against someone who clearly has not seen the sunlight since the PS2 era. It's watching your character get turned into premium Italian tomato sauce. You press a button, but nothing happens. You jump, but instantly get anti-aired because nobody warned you that it's basically a punishable offense. You block, and stay in Blockstone for what feels like the entire runtime of One Piece. And somehow, in the blink of an eye, you lose the round without ever getting a turn. Which is why at some point you just accept it. This is not a game. This is a crime scene with frame data and your beaten body at the center of it. But here's the problem nobody explains properly. Fighting games are actually fair. They just don't feel fair. Which is incredibly inconvenient because now I can't blame the matchmaking, I can't blame my teammate, I can't blame RNG. It's just you and your skills against your opponents and theirs. And also the fact that I didn't block low again, but we're not gonna talk about that. Just like and subscribe. The whole genre can basically be boiled down to timing, prediction, and execution, with a sprinkle of footsies, a dash of neutral, and a healthy dose of spacing. All words that sound like therapy techniques, but actually means your opponent is patiently waiting for you to do something unbelievably stupid. Which you will. You already buffered it 3 seconds ago. But slowly over time, some things change. Eventually you stop mashing, not because you become disciplined, that will never happen, but because you've accepted that pressing light punch 17 times in a row isn't a valid game plan. So you start thinking, and you even find the cheat code, blocking on purpose. You still lose, just less badly. Which in fighting game is basically growth. It's like finally seeing the matrix and the code underneath. Let's not romanticize it too much though, this is where most people misunderstand the genre. Because they don't even get to that stage. They just get deleted online and uninstall the game with their dignity slightly missing. I mean, matchmaking in fighting game is basically a 50-50 chaos engine. It's either accidentally bullying someone who installed the game 8 minutes ago, or get matched with a 7-year-old kid that turns your health bar into a distant memory while laughing hysterically. And yes, execution matters too. Sometimes you know exactly what combo to do. Your brain knows, your eyes know, your soul knows. Your fingers though? Nah bro, they just develop social anxiety. You can't even block for shit when your opponent is comboing you like they're playing a piano recital sponsored by the UFC. And that's where people quit. Not because it's impossible to win, but because fighting games never sugarcoat the simplest truths. You suck! If you persevere though, that's where the addiction loops kicks in. You'll be bargaining for one more match with yourself at 3 AM while actively losing every single one of them. Eventually something will click. You'll anti-air on reaction, you'll whiff punish, you'll bait DPs. It's not chaos anymore, it's a dialogue, a discussion. A very aggressive, violent discussion, but still. And when you understand fighting games even a little bit, you start seeing patterns everywhere. People are predictable, they panic, they hesitate, they repeat habits. Now you're not just playing the game, you're downloading your opponent and reading them like an open book. Hopefully it's not one of the weird ones like the Twilight Saga. And that's when you realize fighting games are just exaggerated version of everything else. Input, timing, reaction, patterns. You're basically doing the same thing in every other games. Even in life, you take an action, you wait, you block, you react, all with specific timing. It's just slower and more diffuse, which means technically everything is a fighting game. which is a terrifying thought, because it means somewhere out there is a version of you getting perfected by reality on a rank ladder. And in my case, knowing my matchmaking, yeah, that version of me is probably still mashing on Wi-Fi. That was 5 minutes to fighting games. If you didn't know, now you know. All that's left for you is to subscribe and go check the previous video right here or the entire playlist right here. Bye bye!